Yo, what's up, man?
What up, Anthony?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Welcome to episode 2 of Yo, Where You From? He already said my name is Anthony, and this is Anwar.
Yeah.
He's dressed like he owns a bazaar, so we're gonna have a good time today, man. So, man, how's life? I mean,
Things are good, man.
Yes.
I'm excited to do my episode.
Yeah.
I dressed the part, you know what I'm saying? I'm representing. Maghreb, let's go.
Yes, there you go. Before I just want to say, like, this man, like, he's all decked out and dressed out. I'm envious of him because we were talking before the show, like, he's just seen all different parts of the world, and we're gonna get to dive into just that and like kind of what led you to be in a situation to do all that crazy shit, man.
Well, listen, if you join the military, you pay a price for seeing things. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
A price so heavy that they pay you. They're like, all right, just take some of this.
Well, it seems like you turned out okay.
I think I did. Yeah,
turned out okay.
It was good. It was good. Good times.
Now, when I see this, I mean, a lot of things come to mind. I mean, obviously, I know where you're from.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I mean,
he's like 9/11, like hookah.
Exactly, all that good shit, man. I mean, all the shit that we talk about and stereotype and whatnot. So I guess let's start off with the outfit, man. First of all, what's the name? What is this called?
All right, this is a traditional ceremonial jaleba, right? I actually
Jaleba with a G.
With a J.
With a J.
Like Jelba. I mean, it's written in Arabic, so the letters are different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so like this, I actually rocked on my wedding. Like this isn't like I'm walking around every day.
What's that called? A hat?
Tagia, yeah.
Tagia.
Tagia. But in the back of your throat, don't worry.
Well, he's probably got deep throat experience, so. Anyways.
Well. No, actually don't. I had to, think about it.
Like, hold on, let me go backtrack a little bit.
Actually? No, not yet.
Okay. Okay, so Tagia.
Yeah.
And then Galapa.
Jaleba.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, it's ceremonial.
So, yeah, this is like, we're getting lit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something important's happening.
The party's about to go down.
Yeah, this style. Usually,
I like it.
Usually, like, this joint goes all the way down to the floor, and that's the walking around joint. That
means you got money. Like
no.
Oh.
If it goes all the way down the floor, that's like, I'm going to the mosque today. I'm just chilling at home. I'm like, I'm just walking around.
That's the more low key one.
That's a low key one.
Okay.
This one, with the pants, and usually I would have the shoes on, the pointy shoes. They don't curl.
Oh, okay.
Ours don't curl. I know what you're thinking about.
Yeah, no,
ours don't curl, and they don't do the thing.
Are they pointy at the
They're
end?
just pointy though.
Pointy at the end, of course.
And then just like, I'm gonna throw this on. I'm gonna run to the, run to the souk, right, which is the bazaar.
The bazaar, of course. That's like the marketplace.
We call it the souk, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna go pick up a couple things. I'm gonna bring it back. The wife's gonna cook it up. While she's cooking, I'm going to the cafe. I'm sitting with my boys. We're gonna watch some soccer, and then when it's time to go, all right, let's go.
Do you have a designated driver for the Camel after you party?
Like, no, Camel is the designated driver.
Right? Yeah, it's like, I got you.
Yeah. He's like, right, let's go.
That's awesome. Have you ever been on a camel?
Yeah.
Like not at the zoo.
No. I've been on a camel in Morocco a couple of times. But I will tell you, every occasion that I've been on a camel hasn't been some authentic experience that I had. It's been like, I pay you because I'm a tourist here, and then I'll get on a camel. They have cars and
yeah, but
it's mad normal. You know what I'm saying?
But
the more authentic Moroccan experience is to get on like a motorized like bike. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay.
And zip around the city looking for shit.
So that's just more of like just something to do. Say I did it type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who doesn't want to ride a camel?
Shoot, me.
All right, fair enough.
So you mentioned Morocco, so obviously that's where you're from.
That's where my parents born and raised
there. And you were born here in America.
Yes.
Correct.
I was born here in Maryland.
Holy
Cross, you know what I'm saying? Silver Spring.
Nice.
In the gutter, you know what I'm saying? That's where I come from.
They kind of, I think, didn't they renovate the hospital afterward?
I don't know.
After all those Muslims, like, we got to change our.
I was born in '88. It was a crack era. You know
it was.
Yeah.
Shit.
So it was not nice when I was born.
No, not at all.
For sure.
So I know we spoke briefly on it, but so your parents weren't from the same region of Morocco, right?
No. Okay. So my mom was her family's from the north, and when we go visit, like most of them are from the north, like right off right on the Mediterranean.
So she could take a boat to Europe.
Okay, first let's go. Morocco is the most northwestern country in Africa.
Correct.
Right? So if you're on the southern part of Spain, you can see Africa, and that's Morocco.
Okay.
So it's the most northern part of Africa.
So y'all are the most light-skinned Africans that are in Africa. I mean, you got yeah.
Well, okay, yes, in a way, right? But throughout Africa, you have people of all different colors. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. But in a general sense, yeah, like but like my grandfather, he was probably a little darker than your complexion.
And that was your mom's dad?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So he's from the same region?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
My father's family is more centrally located, and they were like out in the country. They were inland a lot, like in a place called Jorf or whatever. That's like I think that's like their town, but that's just they're just Canitros, like, you know, where they were based out of, a lot of them, you know. And they were like agriculture, they were farmers and stuff, you know what I mean?
Okay, so farmers, what kind of farming was it? Was it
I don't know that much, but my dad grew up on a farm.
Come on, man, it's your family history.
I know, but you know, it's immigrant parents. They're not like chomping at the bit to tell you about all this stuff.
Let me tell you how awesome our generation is, son. You know?
No, it's more like it's if in context, right?
Yeah.
If I get in trouble, if I'm complaining about something, it's like, let me explain to you what real suffering is.
Okay,
right.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So then I have to piece together their story off of guilt story. You know what I mean?
Piece by piece. Okay,
yeah.
All right, so you had your mom in the north.
Yes.
Dad in the central area.
Yes.
Now your mom was more. You said city, right? The capital.
Okay, so my mom was born into like her family was like a northern family or whatever, but she didn't grow up with her like mom and dad. Like at a very young age, she was sent to where her aunt to go live with her aunt.
Okay.
Right? And
you know why that was?
I don't know. Well, I think her aunt needed help, and that's sort of just like
family looking after family.
Yeah, sort of thing, right?
Okay.
So my mom had like
you know what she needed help with?
Yeah, just work and stuff.
Like the dishes.
Literally, yes.
Yeah. I know it's different over there.
No,
like,
it's
like not there, but just on the other side of the world.
Okay.
In general,
yeah. So I'll break it down. My mom was like, she was like part of the servant class living outside of the palace in Rabat in the capital.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would, you know, clean houses, like cook, like watch things, and that's what my mom did from like 13. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So very young, like just in that world. So in a way, it's like it's a dichotomy, and I've felt this because of how we grew up. You know what I'm saying? It's living in the awe and presence of the most luxurious and most like you know, whatever place in Morocco, or well, you know, for me, like I grew up in Potomac, and I'll get to that, and that's the same thing, right? There's parallels. And at the same time being like, you know, the working class of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so that's how my mom grew up. And meanwhile, my dad was like on a farm just like thugging it out.
All right, so just so everyone's aware, so mom, she's out, you know, helping auntie, northern Morocco.
Yes.
Dad's in the middle of the country.
Yes.
Working on the farm.
Yes.
You know, hard labor and shit.
Yeah.
How do they meet?
So family friends. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everything's sort of in-house, like in Morocco. Like I mean, you meet so many. The families go on and on, like they're whatever cousins or like 17th time removed and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have like weddings or big events, like everybody comes.
And that's when you get ready. This is like you know, ready to go.
Yeah,
right?
This is where you rock this and like, yo, we're partying tonight.
Nice.
Like, all right, cool. Like everybody, you know, take a break from all the hard labor that you do in Morocco. And
did they meet at a wedding?
You link up. I don't know exactly where they met, but I know like their families knew each other.
Okay.
So they met when they were young, even. Well, I mean, they were married when they were young. Like,
well, what I found out, it's important to know exactly how your parents met, because if you go and say you don't, like, you try to think of how they met, you get in trouble from your parents. Like, you know?
Well,
yeah. So
you don't have to bring that up, bro.
I'm just saying, make sure you.
Podcast was supposed to drop on Wednesday.
We had some,
Anyways, I'm helping you. What are you doing?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's good. It's
Fair
important,
enough.
I'm also, helping each other, man.
Well, listen, I'm about to get in trouble too, because the exact scenario, like I said, family, friends, they knew each other from a very young age, like kids almost, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So they knew of each other and all that, but they knew so many people. All right, for context, right? I have 33 first cousins.
Shit.
On my dad's side.
33, so damn.
33 first cousins on my dad's side, and like another, I don't know, 20 something on my mom's side, like 27 cousins, first cousins.
How many brothers and sisters did your dad have?
So my dad is like one of, I think he was one of 14.
What? So basically, people in Morocco like to fuck. That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
Our pullout game is weak.
Yeah.
Number 2's on my way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. I'm the same way. Shoot. It's in my blood.
By next week, you'll be on number 4.
Yeah, and my mom's like one of 8.
Okay.
So like, you have big families over there.
So family gatherings.
Shout out to all the family in Morocco, yo. I know y'all watching, man. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Saad, Usama. Yes, I have a cousin named Usama. Yo, whatever. It happened before we knew. So it's all right.
Exactly.
See him, you know.
Yeah. That's gotta suck to have a name that's like, I mean, it's just your name, and then someone that with the same name does some fucked up shit, and then it's like
not a lot of Adolfs walking around anymore.
No, I mean, well, maybe in Germany. I gotta ask my grandfather about that, but that's.
I wonder.
Yeah, it might be.
But Joseph Stalin, there's a lot of Joes.
Oh yeah. Not a lot of Stalins though.
Yeah, the last name died off.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, shout out to all my cousins. You know what I'm saying, mom's side and dad's side.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like, family's tight in Morocco, man. That's great.
Listen, when I go, I get red carpet treatment. It's like they're too nice to me, and it's just love,
He's supposed to get magic carpet treatment. So next time you realize that.
All right. Yeah. All right, yeah.
But all right,
I'll let that one slip.
Your parents met in Morocco and then moved to America?
Okay, no. So my parents knew each other, right? My mom, since she was working near the palace, eventually she started working for the Moroccan ambassador to America.
Wow.
She was working in his house, She's doing a good job, and eventually he gets an assignment. Like, yo, you're going to the Moroccan embassy in America, right?
Wow. Talk about hustle and grind right there.
Exactly. Yeah. So she gets brought over by the ambassador. So just work. So just working it out. She's in like her super early 20s, or even might be like 19 or something when she came over. So the first place, so I'm saying, like, she goes from like Rabat outside of the palace to like downtown Manhattan. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Talk about culture shock. Yeah.
Well, yes and no, because she's used to the city life. She used to like people with money. There's nothing.
Oh yeah, from that point. But just anything coming to America, like your first time. I mean, I've never.
I'm sure her first time was wild. You know what I mean? And but yeah, so she was in like Manhattan and like living there and all this stuff, right? Eventually, she's here year after year. She's trying to stay, right? So she's like looking for a sponsor and all this stuff. She finds a sponsor. They're like, hey, this is all like behind the ambassador's back. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
He just wants her to like work for him, and then when his assignment's done, like, yo, let's go back. Like,
she's trying to stay.
She's like, I'm trying to stay.
Like, I ain't leaving this. Yeah, this is too nice.
So she goes through like she finds some programs, and like she learns English. And, like, she figures all that out. They send her to DC, and that's when my dad comes.
Not like comes, but like that's when he shows up.
Yeah, not yet.
You're not.
I'm sure
Anwar's still a little ways away.
Listen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They smashed when he showed up.
Well, you said y'all have weed pull out here, so
Yeah. Well, they got married first.
Okay.
It wasn't out of wedlock. And by the way, they're devout Muslims, so like they probably weren't doing anything they weren't supposed to be doing. Honestly, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, they were.
It's not. I don't have a story with them where I'm like, really? It's I don't. I'm like, yeah, I guess.
It's like, this is where I come in, and that's where I'm expected to come in. And
but that's also, they could be, I mean, she would say things like, when she was younger, she went to like dance clubs and stuff like that, and like,
well, you gotta enjoy
in
yourself.
New York and like in DC, I'm sure like there's a chance. This is what I'm saying. at the time frame is like, probably 82, 83. There's a chance my mom like was in Club 54.
Oh wow, yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? But she doesn't know, like oh, Club 54. Yes,
that's great.
Khamsarba. She's just like saying the numbers in Arabic. I don't know, but I don't know, right? She's not gonna tell me about all that, but I know she wasn't like, again, everything was like, you're brand new to the country, you're barely speaking the language. Yeah, it's like save money. Sure. She's like, literally, she would tell me stories about like hiding every penny she earned and like in pillowcases, and then learning. Oh wow! And she was surviving in crack-addled New York,
Yeah. Well, you got to need the pennies in the pillowcase because it's also a weapon,
right?
That shit works. Exactly. I put some pennies in a sock one time, and so I know like. But she wasn't doing it for that purpose, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if she needed to. She's scrappy, dude. Exactly. Like she'll throw down. So it's not somebody you want to fight.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, so then my dad comes. Like maybe 1 or 2 years later.
Okay.
They get married. They find someone to sponsor them. My dad lives in like DC maybe for like a year.
How did he come to America? Like
my mom brought him.
Oh, she did bring him.
They probably were talking before she left.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Because they knew each other kept in touch. Yeah,
nice.
It was probably like calling cards or whatever, and they kept in touch. And like they say the patriarchy, especially Arab countries, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like this is so wrong. My mom's a matriarch for sure.
She runs shit. Like I can tell.
Nobody like. Most of my family that's here now, aunts, uncles, cousins, like whoever's here, my mom brought them. Like she was the first. She was the pioneer. She was the one with like, I'm gonna make this happen. Yeah. However,
so y'all just follow my fucking lead, and I'm gonna get y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna just do what I need to do.
Facts.
So yeah. So she's a survivor, and she was just like, she brought my dad over. They get married, and then they both move in. Mm-hmm. With like a wealthy family in Potomac, Maryland.
There's a lot of those in Potomac.
Yes, there are
a lot of wealthy shit.
Yes,
that's a good set. That's a good. You're moving, like you say, hey, it's Potomac. That's a good start.
Yeah. So So that's like where, they were living nannies essentially. Yeah. So they're like. They were watching the kids and like working and cleaning the house and cooking and doing all the stuff that they could do.
Finding a way, just surviving,
right?
That shit, yeah.
And that family's just been incredibly like giving and nice to like my parents. You know what I mean? They like looked out for them, but so my brother was born in that house. Not physically in the house. But they were living there when he was born.
It's like they couldn't get him to Holy Cross in time.
No, they got him to Shady Grove.
Oh shit! He might as well just been born in the house.
We're not going to the Holy Cross. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, Shady Grove, shit.
They call it Shady Grave.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, so he was born there.
Okay, yep.
Okay, he's 2 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I think when they were pregnant with me, they're like, "Yo, we can't."
Like we've been invited to this house and we just keep popping babies out. Yeah,
I mean that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have a live-in nanny. And it's like she has one kid. It's like okay, that's.
So I'm taking care of my kids more than your kids.
So it was about becoming independent. And stuff. So the next step was this, right? Pregnant with me, they moved to Langley Park.
Shit, you talk about a downgrade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it went from fucking 5-bedroom apartments to
literally a mansion.
Oh yeah, right.
It was literally they were living in a mansion.
Potomac Mansion.
Yeah,
to Langley Park. Whew, man.
So
you fucked up everything, Anwar.
I did.
Damn,
for
man.
Sure. Well, it's their fault. They should have.
The pull-out game is weak in Morocco now.
It's weak. But yeah, so living in Langley Park, she's still just cleaning houses for this person, that person, just hustling. My dad was like, the earliest job I remember him having is like, he was like a server, a waiter at what was that restaurant? Big Boys or something? Or
never heard of it. Is it still around?
No, I think it's done. But it was like they used to have this like fat kid that was, Astro Boy.
Yeah.
It looked like
yeah.
Astro Boy, but he was holding up a dinner plate.
Yeah. When you said big boys,
or
like
something. It's a diner. He was a server at a diner essentially.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So they were both just working like very like bottom of the society jobs,
getting
whatever,
by,
just getting by, and saving money and just trying to get out of that situation because it was bad. It's the hood.
Yeah, it's like you get the fuck out as soon as you get there. Like, yeah.
So when I was 2 and my brother was 4, they sent us overseas back home
to live. Wow.
For a year. So they didn't have 2 kids.
They could focus on.
They could just save money and like all their time. It was like 7 days. They never took a break. You know,
it's like we're making money. Fuck y'all. Go to Morocco.
No, I don't think that was the attitude.
No, I mean, but they also wanted to make sure we got fix get our shit. So when y'all come back, then we're good to go. Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
That was the whole deal.
So who'd you stay with in Morocco?
So I stayed with like my aunt. You know what I mean?
The one that your mom moved.
It was on my dad's side.
Okay, I know you got like 1,000 aunts and uncles.
Yes.
Okay, so your dad's sister,
my aunt and uncle, and my dad's sister, and I have no recollection of it, but when I go, she's like shows me pictures from like when I was a kid. Yeah. She tells me stories.
Like I have no memory of this place.
Yeah, we would like go ride the bus to like go downtown or whatever, and I was like a 2-year-old, and she's like, you never like. She was always say like I always liked wearing sunglasses, and if I took the sunglasses off of my face, I'll cry and be like no, and then I'll put the sunglasses back on.
It's like the little daddy,
and I'll be like cool,
big daddy, where he's like you feel invisible.
Exactly, yeah, I guess that
Yeah,
but I always think about that from my parents' perspective.
Like what it must have been like
to send your 2 kids. For a year, so you could just hustle and grind.
And it wasn't like you guys were like older, like you were 2 and 4, so it was like those are like very.
The flight back must have been wild.
Because they
my kids are there. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure,
So they didn't just put you all on a plane and say go. Like they went with you.
They might have. I don't. But no. I think they flew with us over there, saved enough money, like
spent some time.
Flew with us over there, spent a little bit of time, like whatever they could manage, and then it was like.
Peace out. I'll see you in 365.
That moment, imagine that moment, like driving away, like young kids.
Yeah.
And then flying back, and then just like, okay, it's time we gotta figure this out. Then it's like they're trying to do what, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this country can't do. Get out of the hood, and they're trying to do it in as little time as possible.
Wow. And they made it work?
They made it work.
Yeah.
Because they don't spend money. That's the key, dude.
Talk about penny pinching.
I mean, literally, like, yeah.
So how was that for you? Because I know, growing up in Montgomery County and just growing up in general, like, it's almost like to be accepted, you got to have the shoes, you got to have all this shit. And, like, did you have, like, were they going to get you Jordans growing up?
No.
Was it Payless?
Yeah, whatever was on. Literally, she would come home from like shopping. I'm like, Mom, I need shoes or I need a shirt or like whatever. I'm outgrowing stuff or like and I have my brother's left hand me downs most of the time. But I wasn't dressing like ugly. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, my mom would put me together like respectably or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, as far as like brand name stuff, like that's not happening unless I was like super adamant about, which I wasn't because. Yeah. I mean, all right, so she would, like, brag, like, yo, guess how much this costs? And I'm like, I don't know, right? This is a whole game. Guess, go ahead, guess. I'm like, $12. She's like, less. This is her favorite game, dude. Her favorite game growing up. She would find these things on, like, super like dumb clearance.
The Moroccan prices, right?
Yeah. Yo, you remember when visors were hot?
Yeah.
Everybody was rocking visors, right? She found me a visor. She's like, 50 cents. This is the end of the thing, right?
Yeah,
Nobody wanted this bum ass visor. They didn't have a Nike on it. It was just a visor from Gap or something. It's just 50-cent visor.
Oh man!
But she would show me, you get crossed out. Like somehow in American capitalism, where the price is the price, she was like haggling.
That's great.
She was haggling like it was a Moroccan souk,
It's like, I got you this crown. It's from Burger King,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free,
yeah.
But going to fast food we couldn't even just be like, yo, number 3. It was like, we get a sandwich, we all share a large fries, and like everybody gets like whatever sandwich they got. We get one large fries, we all share.
Wow.
And then this is the hustle, right? My dad will get like, can I get a Coke? And 4 water cups, right? He gets a Coke, and then we take the water cups to the table, and he's like,
"Oh wow,
what is that? I'm allowed to pour this cup into another cup."
Wow.
The water cups didn't go over there, so they would just hustle like that.
Wow. But you know what? Like that's huge. I feel like growing up though, I feel like you learned a lot from that because it's like what's really important is family and making it better for you guys.
Yes, the future is very. It's like you're focused on that.
Yeah.
For the present, you don't. The thing that was like that they really hammered into our heads is like, don't just live for the moment because the next moment's coming, and if you're not prepared for the next moment, living for the moment's not going to mean anything to you. And in a lot of ways, I resented that and like tried to live for the moment. Like
like you just let's have fun right fucking now.
Yeah,
let's get large fries each.
Yeah, but we're jumping around. So.
Oh yeah.
I come back from Morocco like when I was like I guess 3 or something or whatever. My brother's like 5, and we moved from Langley to like Muddy Branch Road, like Gaithersburg.
I know. Yeah, that's right up. Yeah, I know that's the spot right there.
So we were there. That's where we were at. Then it was like a nice apartment. You know what I mean? We were there for a while. My first memories I really remember. I have like maybe one memory from like the Langley apartment. And most of my memories like start at that apartment. I remember that place. I remember the layout. I kind of remember it, like what the neighbor. I remember what the neighborhood looks like. You know what I mean?
So for Anwar, that's where the life of Anwar really starts.
Really starts. Okay, yeah, that's where I got turned. My brain turned on. Like,
all right, I'm here now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Good old.
So yeah. So that's what I was like. We were there for a while. My sister was born in that when we were living in that house.
Mm-hmm. And she's what, 2 years younger?
She's 4 years younger than me.
Okay,
so me and my brother are like 2 years apart, and my sister's 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
So they waited at least for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And my mom wanted a girl. She got it. So
there you go.
I think that's what it was. Youngest girl in a like Arab household. Princess treatment.
Oh,
dude.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys were probably.
Miriam, shut up.
He's calling you out right now.
Yeah.
You've been the princess this whole time.
Well, because me and her have a little thing because she made me a middle child, dude.
Right. Oh yeah. You went from being the baby. Yeah. And you spent some time being the baby. You spent 4 years.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I remember 30 seconds of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she came in and said, "My turn."
Yeah. And as soon as my memory turned on, it was like, we're having a kid. That's like,
oh man,
you're no longer the youngest. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my sister was born in that house.
Okay.
And then we moved from there to the next house, which was in Potomac.
Okay. So you made it back to Potomac.
Made it back to Potomac.
Got the full family together.
Yes.
You, your brother, your sister.
Yep.
Yes.
Mom and dad, and we made it back to Potomac.
Nice.
My dad was like driving buses, and my mom was still, just cleaning houses and doing that stuff. But she's always at a high level. She was always, this is a weird thing about my mom. She's always around like the 1% of wherever she's at.
But you don't even got to explain that. I think society puts a stigma like, oh, someone cleans house, someone does this. It's like, so what? And like,
You know what I'm saying? It kind of affected like her outlook. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah. Like
she doesn't like, like.
Her outlook's always been at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
She like looks down
from ambassadors all the way to,
yes, exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
It's like, not that she looks down on people, but she just like, I think it gave her just like some class and standards, and she's like, no, I'm not living like that. I'm not, she's very, if you go to their house now, everything's where it's supposed to be.
Kept her like focused on where she wants to go. Yeah, for sure.
If you do something, if you're acting improperly or acting like, not that she has airs on her about her or anything like that, but she's like, man, that's ghetto, man. Like, she say that. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
She's like, that's,
And then Potomac was where you were for pretty much like from there on.
From then, and then that was it.
Like, nice. Okay.
Until I left that house. You know what I'm saying?
And so you had your parents the whole time, which is great. It's, coming up with that. I'm sure that, with parents, we kind of pick up some of like their traits, good and bad. What's something that's maybe that, bad character trait you got from your mom?
Oh boy. All right. For my mom, like a bad character trait. I would probably say it would be like a temper. Oh boy. I gotta check what just happened.
Yeah, I can pause this.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
All right, so I mean, basically, so it sounds like all right, your parents.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's just address the fact that the video changed
Yeah.
to the audience.
So it's gonna look a lot different than what it looked like. Well, it's gonna be video, no video for a little bit.
9 minutes.
For 9 minutes, right? And then another video that looks different than the last video.
Yes,
So.
the audio was fine, but my camera just got jacked up. But anyways, let's continue. So
Yeah.
you just asked me what.
Well, I was gonna
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say yeah. So you got your full family together now.
Yeah.
It's your brother, then you guys left. You came back, had the princess. Now you guys are all in Potomac.
Yes.
And then so it's great family, but like all families, we all have our like positives and negatives, and we pick up some of those from our parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to kind of figure out from you what was like the bad habits or personality traits you got, and starting with mother here.
Okay, so for my mom's a very very unique character. She's not like a typical Moroccan person, you know what I mean? Like she's unique in all aspects of the word. Like so I would say one of the negative or bad character traits I picked up from my mom. Love you, Mom, but maybe being cynical.
Oh, okay.
Being like being a little argumentative or just basically never like accepting status quo or like what it is. Like
Yeah.
everything comes in like this sucks or this is a blah blah blah, which can be helpful in a small amount. Yeah. But there's this this over thing where everything that like someone presents to you,
it's like
this sucks. This is bullshit. Yeah. This is what you're trying to take advantage of me.
Yeah.
You don't trust, like lack of trust or something. Or
now, what makes you think made her cynical through her journey, and what makes you like? How did you pick that up? Like in your experience,
I think that all just comes from like my mom's like survival instinct. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know,
you got to look at it.
You can't pull the wool over her eyes. You're not gonna hustle her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You're not gonna take advantage of her. That's not gonna happen. She doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't believe anything. That's not what's happening to.
Yeah, she's the pioneer. She brought she came to America. She brought she's like I'm this way. And,
yes, but that mindset can also make someone like so cynical or so like whatever that I don't know, that you just become a tough, hard person that
everything is bullshit until you chip away at it finally. And I see that.
Where she's not looking for like, oh, that's a. I've never heard her say this. Wow, that's amazing. I've never heard her say that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever heard you say that. So I guess you're right in terms of like that's a trait.
Yeah,
you know. So what aspects of life are you cynical like and just kind of have that like? Is it just?
All right. So like music, you know what I mean? If everybody's like some new artist comes out, and I'm like, everybody's like, this is a jam. Blah, blah, blah. It'll take me years to come around and be like, that is actually pretty good. Yeah. Like Drake, for example, is like a...
Oh, it took you a while to get on the Drake?
I was like, oh, dude, this is stupid. Like, blah, blah, blah. Man, this is for girls, whatever. So, whatever. Anything pop culture related, I'm going to look at it with this, like, you know.
Just because everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, like, if everybody likes it, that's probably bad. Yeah. That's like my default mindset. Yeah.
It's like somehow society figured out to get everyone to click and fuck with this. And I'm not falling for it.
No, you guys are all, you guys are all, that's the banana in the tailpipe, buddy.
So you're not going to pull one over.
Exactly. So
you got that from mom. And then from your dad, what would you say is the trait that...
He's long-winded.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm long-winded. I talk too much. I don't listen. I'm just like, I want to give you like my... All right, so my dad actually comes from a long line of like emails, which is like teachers, right? So a lot of like my dad's family, even though they're farmers too, but they're all like there's this class that like just kind of taught or offered knowledge, or were like philosophers,
like the wisdom people.
Yeah. So when he was in college, he was doing college before he moved over to the States. So he like didn't start college again while he was in the States.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Hard. He was an immigrant.
Yeah, not for sure.
But that's what he was. I think he was studying like philosophy and like political science and like.
So you got cynical on one end and like philosophy on the other.
Yes, but like long-winded, like boring, tired, like thinking about things too much. All right, I'll give you an example. You know, Jehovah's Witness, they would like knock on people's door, like, "Can we talk to you about the Bible?" My dad would literally be like, "Yes, come inside." You know, he would make them tea, and then he'll argue with them for 3 hours. They're sitting in our couch in our house, and he's like having a philosophical debate about religion with them. He's coming from like he's like, actually in the Bible it does say this, but what is the problem with this is that and they're just like two young kids, like whatever, that are like geez, guy.
Yeah, they don't say Jesus, but yeah.
Oh, no, I guess they'd be like, oh, gee willikers.
Yeah. But it's like they're not expecting that. Like they're probably expecting to get rejected at 95% of the doors. Right. Maybe a couple people talking now.
And they're like, oh, somebody let us in. Maybe we'll convert him. You're not. You're not. You're gonna be trapped in a long argument for hours. And I think I have a lot of that in me.
Okay. Just like, does that play into like relationships with people or in your marriage? The long-windedness.
She will bring that up for sure. Oh my God, like she like. I think through being married, I've learned like people don't care or want to get in some long conversation. And here's when it really comes out, right? If I'm out partying or I'm drunk or whatever, and some topic comes up where people are just trying to have a good time, if you're out like like having a good time and like drink or whatever, and like you want to talk about things for like 10 minutes at most, like a single subject.
Switch it up or get a drink, do something else.
You're not trying to go deep into some philosophical thing. And I'll just be like, yeah, man. It's embarrassing when I hear about it the next day, or I'm like
what the fuck?
Oh my God!
You gotta stop drinking that Knob Creek. Yeah,
it's just talk too much.
Yeah. Now you said that listening was that something too, like the lack of listening, or is it just you want to get your point across? So you listen, but you still want to get your point across.
Yeah, I think that's
like I hear you, but
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to.
I'm waiting to tell you more important shit.
That's something I had to actively. I'm doing it to you right now as we speak.
Yeah, I know. It's all good, man. This is why we're here, man. We're hashing this shit out.
Right.
Man, so you have a cynical mother.
Yeah.
Long-winded father.
Yeah.
So between the two of them, who taught you about sex?
They didn't talk about sex. They're Muslim, bro. I had to learn about sex from the old internet. Friends at school.
Did they even sign the waiver for you to learn about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I learned. I went to sex. It wasn't like that, you know what I mean? But
you will never know about this.
It was like, this was like my sex education. You're going to get some girl pregnant. You out here doing this and that. Don't be gay. That's part of it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
so you just like learned in the streets.
Don't be gay. Don't go get nobody pregnant.
STDs probably wasn't even on the table, like, because it's like you would have to, like, they're assuming you have sex, you're going to be a father.
Yeah, there's this transition there where it was like they didn't talk to me about sex, and then I'm maybe when I was like literally 18 or 19. It just went from like we never speak about sex really,
and it's like sit down, we need to have a talk.
To no, not sit down. What? Not to sit down, we need to have a talk. Like in passing, like you're out every night, you're going to party, you're doing drugs, you're having sex with everybody. I know. That's
with everybody.
Yeah.
Doing drugs.
So there wasn't like a discussion. It was like I know what you're up to.
There you go.
After the fact.
That's your like. Then there goes your mom being cynical and long-winded. I'm sure that must have been like.
Oh yeah. I got look. You know how we say like, oh, you're getting an earful.
Yeah.
I mean that is the like least amount of full that it was like an ear. It was like they were filling my body up to like 70% with words and anger and whatever, yelling and stuff.
Now you have an older brother, so did you happen to like kind of like take notes on like because he's a little bit older, like?
No, he was a dork. I taught him.
Damn, he just called. Is he gonna watch this?
Yeah, he'll know. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
he looked up to me. I was like, we had a older brother, younger brother dynamic. We both like ran cross country in high school and stuff. But in a weird way, like he looked up to me. I was cooler. Yeah. I was though, Omar. I don't
He
care.
just called you. Hey, this is why we're here. Okay, so you were basically like, there. You were the one the parents worried about.
Yes, because because as the middle child, I was like, I guess starved for attention, hence comedian, right?
Yeah,
Trying to whatever. And so my older brother would just kind of go along with their like life plan, like get into the medical field, do this, do that. You know what I mean? Like what. I was getting like terrible grades. I had like ADHD. I had like a learning disorder. I was out trying to, party.
You were the Langley Park baby. So
exactly, bro.
Yeah,
it was in my blood, yo.
Yeah, exactly.
It got in me from the environment, just like.
And then you had your sister. All right, we got to go back to Potomac.
Oh,
now.
my sister, they're like figured it all out. She was in like SAT prep, like early, and like,
finally, we got it.
Yeah, she got it. She got like she literally got a scholarship to like go to college. And
That's
stuff.
great.
And me, I was like, all right. My brother went to college and like. He was just transferring from college to college. But going to college, like he went to UMES first and like whatever. I went straight to community college, and then my sister got a scholarship. So it was our higher education careers kind of tells the story of like who we were.
Oh, Montgomery College,
Montgomery College and military. That tells you everything you need to know, dude.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
But so sex wise, it was like what you heard around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It was
like with your friend.
Dog porn was just coming out like heavy on the internet.
Yep. You had to download the shit on the LimeWire.
Yeah. So I was printing shit, folding it up, taking it up to my room.
Yeah.
It's just
that's
like
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if your parents would ever found out, they probably would have just ended your life.
Yeah, there was definitely a big
beheading
fear
or something.
I wouldn't have. I mean, at that young of age, like what, 13?
Yeah.
Like your parents find out you're starting to learn about sex. Like sex was like I think it was like I was 10 years old and they were like, don't say stupid in the house. That's a bad word.
Yeah, right.
That's a bad word. Don't say stupid.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, I remember like in like 4th grade, people were like, have you guys seen the new South Park? I was like, oh, that's crazy. You can watch South Park? Like
all these like access these American children have.
Yeah. That was the thing I envied the most, especially going to school in Potomac, was the freedom that like other kids they could go sleep over each other's house. That's not even on the table. Don't ask.
And that's what we were talking about last week because my friend from Bangladesh growing up, like parents didn't play any of that shit. So it's just that whole worldview is different.
Yes.
We're in America. We're here to work. We're here to make a life for ourselves.
Yeah.
None of that fun shit.
Yeah. What is fun? What is fun? You spend your money. You go out. This is how my mom used to say. She's like, you go outside. You go with your friends. You have a good time. That was her.
She's like acting out the dances and shit.
That was her impression of us going out and like having a good time. You're out doing drugs with your friends. I'm like,
hey, can I get a hit of that? And then you're like,
one of the biggest laughs I got off my sister. I was like, that's not what we do when we go out. My sister started cracking up because she was like, she was doing this.
Oh, that's the party.
Yeah.
That's how Moroccans party, or how
that's how she thinks. That's how she thinks Westerners party.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They go out and
do drugs.
Yeah. But it was like the thing was like you're not going to somebody's house where they're gonna like. Whatever. I think they're going to touch you. They're going to do all that stuff. Yeah. Whatever.
It's like when you're like, there's always those relationships you have where it's like, you just want to go out and have a guy's night. And then your girl thinks that you're out just fucking other chicks and doing all this shit. It's like, we're just killing it.
Like, just chilling. Like, whatever. Anyway. That's like my mom's like, view of like just Western culture. It's just like, excess. She's like, it's just too much fun. It's too much in the moment.
And you don't need it. Get ready for the next moment.
Yeah. You're not.
Yeah.
Well, why would you go out when you could have a second job?
So it sounds like, you know
what I mean?
Right. Make this money. So it sounds like your mom, was she the more stricter of the two parents? More strict? I don't know.
Yeah. My dad sort of went along with what my mom said. Like, as the parameters.
He knew it was smart.
He was the enforcer. Let's not get it twisted. He was the enforcer. Like he came home. When we were younger and stuff, like you got in trouble with my mom.
Yeah.
And she would put work in, and then my dad would come home.
Oh yeah, clean up.
The belt, the official thing.
Yeah.
My mom was in the moment, like she's cooking and and you're like just being loud and throwing stuff and like tearing up, and then it's in the moment. Bow, whatever she had in her hand. Bow, I got you. Like
nice and quick. Yep.
And she's like, okay, and you're like, oh, whatever. And she's like, all right, wait. My dad would come home and we'd be like trying to hide and stuff, And my dad would come in with and he always did the same thing, belt down the leg, right? Some long speech, like I said, some philosophical thing, right? You understand that your mother, she's working hard, and you don't. Bow! And then show us the belt, like, all right, it's go time.
And it's probably one of them, like, thick leather belts too. I'm sure, like,
it was a belt that held up some grown man pants. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. After a long day's work,
a long day's work,
some ass, yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you got in trouble the most.
Yeah, for sure.
And
without a doubt.
So what was like for you the biggest thing that you remember when you got in trouble, and how did your parents react, and how did it change you as a person?
All right, so 16. I started like smoking bud, right?
Yeah.
Smoking weed in high school. All my friends are doing it.
Yep.
Cool things.
Roll up. Yep.
So I probably had only been like a few months of me doing it. Right? I'm starting to get reckless because I'm like, yeah, dude, it's all good, man, whatever. I have actually, all right, so this is actually the crazy thing, right? So my aunt, she comes to the States earlier and she gets married. And that guy already has a son, right? Okay. So I call this my cousin, right? But like by marriage or whatever.
Mom's side, dad's side. I know there's a lot of them.
My mom's sister.
Mom's sister. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they live in like North Virginia. Okay. But they would come over sometimes. We hang out. But the kid was a little bad kid, right? Shout out JJ, son.
This is your younger cut, older cut.
He's like around the same age.
Age. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe like a year younger. Or whatever. Yeah. But he was down there in Sterling, Virginia, like being a little badass kid. Yeah. He was a couple years ahead of me as far as like just being bad and like whatever, just smoking stuff. He comes through, and I'm like, "Yo, JJ, I smoke too now. Like, what's up?" He's like, "Yo, you do? Like,
we can be friends now."
So yeah, we like found bud or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, we don't have anything to smoke out of." Like, he's like, "Yo, let's go to Home Depot." We get a ride to Home Depot. This dude screws together, like he gets like a union and like a couple like of washers and nuts and screws together a piece.
Wow.
With the screen in it.
Props to him.
Yeah, props to him. Just like this, he just figured out how to do that. We stole all the little pieces. You go to the plumbing section, and they just have them loose. And
he's a true pothead.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is exactly.
To this day, probably.
No, I think he's all right now. Yeah. But, this is literally we're like 15, 16. Yeah. But so he makes this piece out of like brass and like, plumbing parts. Right? And it looks like a crack pipe. You know what I'm saying? It looks horrid, right? But I use it a few times, and then I'm out with my friends using their stuff, and they're all rich kids. They have like glass bowls and bongs and whatever. But I forget about this piece. I put it in my jacket in the winter, right?
Oh shit!
I put it in the closet, and it's like springtime or something, right? And I remember I forgot. It'd been like maybe like a month or two or something, a month and a half, where I forgot that it was in there. Yeah, it's in the jacket pocket. Yeah. My mom's going through the jackets to like wash them or whatever. She finds it.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Now this goes from like, my son is like he's not doing good in school, but he's a good kid.
He means well.
That's the moment my son's a good kid gets shattered, right? Yeah. And like I was just mischievous before. Now I'm like a bad kid. Right? Yeah. So boom, like she puts it on the table. You know what I'm saying? She's like, "What's this?" I did the classic. I'm holding it for my friend. It's not mine. It's not this. Da da da. They didn't even catch any weed on me, and they're asking all these questions like, "When did you do it?" Da da da. All this stuff. They call the cops.
Oh shit!
They're not playing around.
They call the cops.
They call it cops, dog.
Oh shit! Yo,
so we're waiting for the cops like this, right? It's dead. It's so awkward in my house. I'm in the most trouble I've ever been in, right? Literally.
So in your mind, you're thinking like, am I going to jail? Like,
what? They call the cops on me?
Damn, they just, Wow.
Everybody's surprised when they hear that. I thought that was like standard issue. Like, no, but man. So my mom, It takes forever for the cops. Non-emergency number.
Yeah.
Some little, some
Yeah.
little kid's got a pipe.
Homemade pipe.
Weed.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It hasn't been used in like a month or whatever,
Yeah.
so it's just residue. So they're scared of shit.
She called the cops.
Yeah.
Months later, that's great.
Female cop shows up. I'll never forget. There's like white female cop, and my mom's like, as soon as she walks into the door, that's it. It was dead quiet up until then. I remember seeing my sister like look over the stairwell, right? Like look
in a movie
into the living room, like
yeah.
and see. And I'm
This is
like,
gonna get
go to
good.
your room, you know.
Yeah.
So whatever. The cop comes in, and my mom's like, "We found my son. He's doing drugs in my house." You know what I mean? She's like talking to the cop like that. And the cop's like, "Yeah, I understand, ma'am. I understand."
Yeah.
And so the cop starts picking up like, "Okay, we gotta scare the shit out of this kid, right?"
Yeah.
So that's her purpose.
Like the Beyond Scared Straight back before the TV show.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. So, she takes a picture of it. She like gets give me your student ID, writes it down. She's like, I could arrest you for it now, just for the residue and that. I'm like, okay, well, arrest me then. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you kind of were a little bit more like
Well, no, dude. Don't get it twisted, and don't ever at any point let me get to in this story. And my attitude was like, so
Yeah.
it wasn't. I was like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they take a picture. She tells me like, you're on a blacklist. So if you're at a party and other kids get citations for drinking or something, you're going straight to jail.
Oh,
like,
shit.
okay,
Damn.
I'm on the Montgomery County blacklist for delinquent juveniles. I guess I mean,
and it was your mom who ratted you out of all people too.
I mean, it wasn't ratted. They looked me in the face and called the police.
That's
great. The whole thing was like, my mom's like, I come to this country with nothing. She's telling us, I come to this country with nothing. I don't want trouble. Yeah. And so the cop leaves. She's like, you could have our house taken away. And all this, like, that's not.
Yeah.
But what are you? You're not gonna say anything in that moment.
But that's also like the first situation that your parents have been in, like. So they're also
any legal trouble,
yeah.
Aside from a ticket, that's it.
Yeah, so like that's probably like they don't know how to react. Yeah,
that's it. They think, they watch cops on. Yeah. I mean, imagine not having any interaction with the police as an immigrant.
Yeah,
like and then your kid's got like this. And listen, I get it. It looked horrible. It looked way worse than
because it was what we
know.
A bowl or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just this brass charred. You know what I mean? It looked so bad.
And they're thinking like, we built years of all of this.
Yeah, now my son's a crackhead. Like that's, you know what I mean?
We're gonna throw it all away over a fucking crack.
Yeah,
man.
So I was in like a punk band at that time. I had to quit that.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I'm sure the like consequences. Like she probably threw down the book.
It was shut down time for me. Like man. I was like,
you quarantined before all of us.
Yeah, for sure. Dude.
It wasn't punishment. It was quarantine.
Quarantine,
man.
Quarantine. And then by the way, then I came out like way stronger. They're 3 kids, man. And my brother graduated high school. He's like in the first year of college. I'm in my junior year. And my little sister's like starting middle school. And so their attention was on my brother at his first year away at college. Yeah. Making sure he had everything, doing his laundry and shit, you know, all that stuff for a first college kid. And then having my sister doing all the prep classes and being like putting in the right grades. Yeah. My dad's very active in like what's going on with her schooling. Yeah.
And you're just like in the middle kind of.
Nobody's paying attention to me.
Yeah.
My brother moved out, so I moved like to the basement.
So yeah,
I started sneaking out. You know, you cut the screen out, hit that joint, roll out, put that joint back with a piece of tape or like a hook or something, and like put it down. And I was doing all that.
You were living your best life.
And I was getting caught a lot.
So you sucked at. I sucked sneaky,
at. I got caught pretty much doing anything, and then you know what I mean. Like I didn't have the grades to like be able to like. Like, well, I get good grade. I had nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Like the fault, like to at least say, at least I got this.
Yeah. To be like, I deserve to go out. I didn't. I was not doing my part.
Well, I don't think you were a complete screw up. I don't think you were that. Like, I'm sure there's some good qualities you picked up from your parents. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know it seems like you kind of explained the dynamic of how your parents come down. Mom is kind of like the leadoff hitter. Dad comes and bats cleanup.
Right.
So. Starting with mom, what's one of those traits that you picked up from her that you're proud to say you got from her?
So my mom doesn't believe anybody's better than her. She won't let anybody talk down to her.
Okay.
So that's the same thing as like the bad trait is being overly cynical, but it's also like she has a lot of self-respect and self-worth. Yeah. And she doesn't look at anybody and like, oh, that like I could never have or whatever. Yeah. Because she, you know, she worked for like the ambassador and she worked for you know, wealthy people all over the place. Yeah. And she was even like a nanny in her later years for like a bunch of Wizards players. Wow. Yeah. But she would talk to them like they were equal, like to her. Like, like
she never felt like intimidated.
I remember we were I'm at my mom's house with Antoine Jameson. Wow. In the 2007, he was like playing in
North Carolina. Yeah. Wizards, that's my guy right there.
She's making him breakfast. He had a game that night, right? And they're like, she's like, what do you want for breakfast? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, this, that, and bacon. She's like, don't eat bacon. She's Muslim. Don't eat bacon. You have a game tonight. She's saying this to him.
That's great.
I'm like, Mom, chill. You know, she's like, no. It's too much grease. It's not good for you for your game.
That's awesome.
This is there in the playoffs. She's telling Antoine Jameson.
You can't have bacon. You got the Cavs.
Some Moroccan nanny who's supposed to be. Yeah.
Man.
It was hilarious.
That's awesome, man.
But so I get that from her. She's like, because I saw that in her, like, don't let people talk down to you. So I think a big part of that is like, for me, what's been handed down to me is like I laugh at somebody if somebody were to put on or like act like they're better than me around me. It's like maybe I'm not gonna be as direct as she was about it, but
you're not gonna
mentally you're not. Yeah,
it's not phasing you at all.
No.
Yeah, no. It sounds like she's a powerful person and you picked up those traits. And then, you know, Pops. What was the thing from him that you feel like you picked up on that you're proud to say was his? He
was very open-minded. So he wasn't this strict Muslim guy. He would actually let us ask questions, right, about our religion or like about politics or whatever. Like he was very open-minded. He was a very open person. And he always like he always took time to like consider point of views or whatever. Like I remember,
well, he let Jehovah's Witnesses in his house, so I kind of figured,
that was like, but that's some weird. That's like the extreme level.
Like extremely open-minded.
Yeah. But like, all right, so like, there's this. I remember he gave me praise for this, right? He was like, all right, that's good, you know. We were at like Sunday school, right? And then I remember. We were talking about like, you know, God and the devil and like all this stuff and like going to hell or whatever, and I'm like they're talking about hell, like if you do this you're to hell, and this is what hell's like. It's bad. It's like, you know, fire forever, and there's a river of doo-doo that you're drowning shit, you know what I'm saying, like and over and over and I was like, okay, and they're like, if you don't believe in, you know, God and Allah, then you'd go to hell. I'm like, I go, all right, I raise my hand. I'm like, all right, what if like, this is how, you know what I'm saying? A little kid, right? Yeah. All right, what if like, you know, you were born in this village, and that village, they just worship the devil, but you never, if you're born there and you die there and you never learn about Allah, but you never have a chance to. Yeah. And they were like, well, you should learn a lot. But I'm like, he never had a chance, but he never had a chance in this scenario, right? And they're like, that's a good question. You should, go talk to the imam about it. So I go. I think I'm in trouble. They take me down, and they take me to the imam, right, in the mosque, and they're like, all right, ask him your question. And this was a really nice guy. He always had dum dums. I always remember. And you go, mashallah, mashallah. You give kids dum dums. So I remember, you know, imam beard, the thing, and the smells with the oils and the stuff. And just so vividly, I remember this guy, right? White beard, like whatever. So I asked him, I'm like, okay. All right, so what if like, and I do the whole thing. And he's like, mashallah, very good. It's good to understand and ask questions. He gives me a lollipop. But like doesn't really answer. He gives me like some half answer, but I'm like, he's like, Allah, it's basically Allah will know the answer, you know, which is a legitimate answer. But at the time, I'm like, no, but like, what would happen? Like, he's like, I'm not God, I don't know, but Allah would know, and like, you know, He's like, just understand that if you're a good person,
like and you kind of it opened your mind.
Allah will forgive you. But I'm like, but what would happen to that guy, right?
Yeah.
So they tell
you really want to know what happened to that guy. Like that was
right.
like,
They tell my dad about it. And my dad was like proud of me in that moment where he's just like, he's like, good. No, it's good to ask questions and like blah blah blah. But he just allowed like free thought and like it wasn't this because a lot of other kids who were Muslim that I like grew up with or went to mosque. It was they couldn't do what I did in that moment in that scenario.
And not just like I know a lot of religions like you got people going to Catholic school or whatever. It's like you can't question anything. So for parents to be devout and allow that shit, that's fucking awesome. So
he was definitely the open-minded thing. I think came from me. Even now, like with how the country is like so politically divided, and how like there's I can honestly say that I can see things from both perspectives. And a lot of that has to do with like meeting like a lot of my like friends who are Republicans in the military or whatever. And I totally understand their perspective because because my dad gave me that open mind to like,
for sure. Yeah.
Do listen and like try to understand where people come from.
Man. So that set you up for life because you did have those experiences just on a world level and with people. And now I got one more question for you. Mm-hmm. With that, you've been, rebellious, almost gone to jail by way of your parents. You know, but now you got a family. I'm sure they're proud of you. With just looking back on the grand scheme of things, what would be, in your mind, what they're most proud of you for?
It's like without a shadow of a doubt is financial independence.
Yeah.
Being able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Planning for your own, me planning for my future and my kids' future now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that. It's just like, they
your
didn't think, there was because listen, I was 21 years old when I joined the Air Force, right? Yeah. At 21, the reason I joined, I had nothing going for me. Yeah. I was like on, like, what do they call it? Probation, like with the school. Like, educational probation, whatever. I could only take 2 classes at a time. I was working some part-time job just as like a camp counselor, or whatever. And like cars were breaking down. I couldn't save money.
Yeah, I
was just like spending all my free time and money and energy going out and like having fun, whatever. So I joined, and they're like, okay, this will kind of set them up. Mm-hmm. But even while I was in, it was like. I wasn't doing what they wanted me to, and the fact that I got out, that made them nervous too. So that it's very recent.
Yeah, that they're
like, okay, he landed on his feet.
Yeah, for sure.
They thought they were okay when I was in the Air Force, and I told them like, I'm getting out. They're like, don't do that. Like, you're secure. They just want me to be okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because you're the vision that they had.
By the way, I'm doing it to them again with comedy.
Yeah, right. They're like, we're not.
Like, why are you doing that? Well, stop wasting your time. Yeah. Like,
Would they ever come to a show?
Someday, I think.
Someday.
I mean, I think they would now.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're ready to be like. First of all, when you say a show, it's like I'm not inviting them to an open mic.
No, of course not. Because
I'm not
only you embarrassing for yourself, but then it's like these are the people you're like,
I have to once I have to invite them to a point where I'm like, see, that has to be the thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's the message of the show. Is like, look, you know what I mean.
If they go to an open mic now, they might send you back to your aunts in Morocco.
They'll try, dude. Yeah. They'll be like, no, they're gonna call CPS on me. Like, you can't have kids. You're too dumb. Like, what are you doing?
Now, what about your brother and sister? Have they been any?
Have they what?
For your comedy? Just a random question.
Actually, I think they both come to mics.
Okay, yeah.
Neither of them have come to like a showcase or
for sure,
or whatever. But
yeah.
I mean, it's
family's
like,
different.
You're just doing it around here. And by the way, I mean, like my brother lives in Florida. My sister's been living like in California. So we're not even we're very
geographically not even close. Yeah, for sure.
So like we see each other very semi-annually or whatever.
Mm-hmm, for sure, man. Well, it sounds like like I got a greater understanding of your life, and like how who you are or who you are. A lot of
cool. There. You know what I'm saying? Smart. Real sexy, you know what I'm saying? Like exotic.
All right, so now you're sicing.
No. Hold on. I'm like real eloquent, you know what I'm saying? As I stutter to get that word.
Looks like you're about to drop a mixtape, man. You got the mic, and you just like
huh? Montana.
Like shit. Where we at? We're right at 103.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, man. It was good. Episode 2.
Episode 2 in the
yes,
books.
In the books.
Next
yep.
episode, it's not about us anymore. We're gonna
Yes.
interview one of our good friends.
Yes, we'll wait to reveal that to you, but you guys will not want to miss it. I can promise you that. And now we know where are you from? So
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yo, where you from? Yo, thanks for listening.
For sure. We'll see y'all.